In Kenya, the Interior Minister is quoted as saying 5 suspects are arrested in connection with the attack on the university campus in the town of Garissa. Meantime, remaining bodies were removed from inside the campus targeted by those terrorists. Now, hospitals and morgues are flooded with relatives searching and hoping.
So I was trying to look for my son. I've not even got him in a phone. I've tried, failed. How can you even borrow somebody a phone and say, oh, Daddy, I'm just alive? That's why I'm worried. Maybe he's not alive.
148 people were killed in the attack by al-shabaab. Authorities say the militants were heavily armed and carefully planned out the assault. Now, a reward of more than $200,000 is being offered for the alleged mastermind. Kenya's government has come under fire for allegedly ignoring warnings and doing little to secure the region. For more on the Kenya University attack, I'm joined now by Nii Akuetteh. He's a scholar and policy analyst who specializes in African affairs. I want to welcome you to the broadcast. We had you here earlier this week. It was good news there, the Nigerian election. This not good news at all. Frame the area for us. This is very close to the Somali border. How porous is it? What's this community like?
In fact, this is one of the problems because it is a very porous community. It has history in the geography of the area because, in fact, northern that side of Kenya, the people there ethnically are Somalis, just like the people across the border in Somalia. And Kenya has been involved in the issues and problems of Somalia, the terrorism problems, because the terrorists used to come across the border. Kenya will chase them in. Kenya is part of the African forces that are fighting al-shabaab in there. So this was like a revenge attack. So it is pretty difficult. I mean, we've had our concerns about the human rights record of the Kenyan government, but the issue of this terrorism and striking at soft targets, there is some sympathy there that I have for the Kenyan governments because it's very difficult. Experts have said the terrorists have to be right ones. Those defending the targets and the society have to be right 100% of the time.
It's not easy. There's no doubt about it. Let me talk to you about school attacks. Boko Haram has targeted schools in Borno State. Just late last year in Pakistan, we saw in Peshawar almost 150 school kids killed there by the Taliban, and now this attack. So gruesome. It gets headlines, but when I was talking to an analyst about the Taliban, they were indicating this is a sign of the fact that they may be on their heels. Do you think that's the case with al-shabaab? Obviously, one would think if there's any sympathies in that region, they would be evaporated after something like this.
Absolutely, I share that view. Because, in fact, the facts on the ground in Somalia, across the border, is that al-shabaab actually used to control territory. They used to actually control large portions of Mogadishu, the capital, and the African Union troops, backed by the United States and the international community, financed by them, AMISOM, they have been pushing al-shabaab out into the countryside. So, yes, they are losing. And all the places that you mentioned, yes, I share the view that when they are on the back foot, when they are losing, then they resort to attacking this soft target. It gets them attention. It's very gruesome, but it is also a sign that they are, to my mind, they are not getting any stronger, but just weaker.
What about security? There's a lot that's been in the news the last couple of days. There were some warnings that perhaps this might happen. We're hearing that maybe there were just 2 guards there. Yes. Clearly not a lot of security in place. Does the government, are they somewhat accountable for this?
I think, of course, they are accountable because, you know, any politician, any head of state, the #1 job is keeping the people and the society secure. On the other hand, I mean, when I looked into these charges and back and forth about warnings, it turns out that there was a college, another college close by, a teachers training college, where the students were sent away. There are some even in the Garissa University College. Some students said, well, you know, we got warnings, but we thought that it was April Fool's Day because it came out on 1st April. The British government and the Kenyan government have been arguing because the British issued a travel warning and the Kenyan president reacted strongly that that's going to dampen tourism. So there are all kinds of stories about it. But I did hear, you are right, that there were only 2 guards at the university. So we will sort it out. But again, these university, educational institutions are very hard to target, and these terrorists aim at them, which is very gruesome, and it tells you the mindset that they have. So it seems to me they have very little sympathy. One wonders what they are trying to accomplish in terms of their image in the eyes of their population.
Well, they certainly get a lot of attention doing it, unfortunately. It's a very sad tale coming out of Kenya. Nii, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.